For new viewers and listeners, this repeat episode of the Matt Haycox Show originally aired on the 10th of May 2019, with guest Charlie Mullins. Recently, it's been in the news that Charlie Mullins has sold his 90% stake in his business Pimlico Plumbers to the US home services group Neighbourly. The deal is expected to be worth between £125 million and £145 million. This episode was recorded before this deal.
Hey guys, it's Matt Haycox here, and today I've got a fascinating guest with a story that's truly inspiring for anyone who's looking to start a business or build a brand. I'm here with Charlie Mullins, who, at leaving school at 15 with no qualifications, he completed a 4-year apprenticeship in plumbing. He started his life in employment with nothing more than a second-hand van and a bag of tools that he bought at auction in 1979, and he's gone on to build a hugely successful Pimlico Plumbers, which today's got over 450 staff, completes over 100,000 jobs a year, and turns over in excess of 45 million quid. It's one of business's mega success stories, and I'm delighted to have him here today for a chat. Charlie Mullins, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, a great introduction, Matt. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. And I've got to say before we start as well, I was doing my research for this interview, and I've got a couple of pages of things to talk about. However, I watched an interview that or a kind of a behind the scenes at your business, and you said 3 sentences in about the first 1 minute in this thing, which resonated so strongly with me that I actually thought I don't even need to do any more research now. I'm going to absolutely love talking to this guy about branding and PR and marketing, etc. So we'll get into that in a minute, but just to set the scene for the guys at home, just to set the scene for the guys at home, can you flesh out the intro I gave you and talk a bit more about your backstory, how you started in business and how we got to today?
So I'll try and keep it short, but obviously
sure.
To the point. Left school at 15, no qualifications, very little education. And I realise now, as I look back on that, that was a mistake. I should have left at 14. There was just no point in being there. Once you've made your mind up of what you're going to do. I always wanted to be a plumber, and I think from about the age of 9 or 10, I used to bunk off school and help a local plumber. I'm not necessarily recommending that, but that's the facts. And, the seeds were sown then. And, if this guy would have been a bank robber, I'd have been a bank robber. Whatever this fella's done is what I wanted to do. So, signed up for a 4-year apprenticeship, which again was probably the best thing I've ever done, because I wouldn't be here today if that wasn't the case. And as soon as I passed out on that, immediately become self-employed, and continued for quite a few years being just a basic self-employed at a one-man band, and eventually found myself in the Pimlico area and started Pimlico Plumbers.
So you set up Pimlico Plumbers. Tell me, was that just you effectively, Charlie as a one-man band trading as Pimlico Plumbers, or did the business start any bigger than that?
No, it was as you say there. I mean, I started working in the Pimlico area, and I was working for a estate agent called Pimlico Properties, and I became known as the Pimlico Plumber. So I'm not going to sit here and say, look at me, I thought of this great name, and and then the estate agent offered me an office, a one room in a basement. He called it an office, but it was in a basement. And I had sleepless nights. Shall I take it? Shan't I take it? Why would a plumber want an office kind of thing?
Did you have any staff at this point?
No, it was just me. Well, purely me. I've been working with a few guys around the area that if we wanted an electrician or various other trades. But the estate agent just said, I'll give you this base, I'll give you this office, and quite a few sleepless nights over wondering, why do I want an office? Plumbers don't really have offices, you know what I mean? But something told me that, I needed a base in Pimlico. I mean, I was living quite a long way out from London, and all of a sudden, when people think you're based local or you are based local, it creates business basically.
Yeah, a trust factor,
and
I guess,
trust,
as well.
etc. So I took the office on, and then I started using a few self-employed people, carpenter, electrician, other plumbers. And, we had answer phone. Is it called answer machine at the time? You're probably old enough to remember them, aren't you, Matt?
I just about remember a pager.
Do you? Anyhow, answer machine, and so you'd be in the office, go out, do a bit of work, come back and answer it. And, you know, I could see the business building up, or work building up. You know, there's quite a demand for plumbers anyhow. And being based in Pimlico, being called Pimlico Plumbers, it created a lot of interest. And, you know, I realised now, and looking back, that if you're going to, whatever your company name is, if you can say what you're going to do in the name, then it's much better than just saying, you know, F. Bloggs and Sons or something. So I realised at the time, I think I had enough knowledge to understand that, you know, Pimlico Plumbers went quite well together anyhow. And then I started sort of taking people on. Then I took some like a retired school teacher on, a woman, like to answer the phones. And, you know, it sort of escalated from there. But obviously, you know, where we are today, there's many sleepless nights. There's many times that, you know, you're struggling, many times that you're not sure what you're doing, if it's the right thing or something. But, you know, obviously looking back now, it was the best move I ever done. And I realise now, for you to go forward and to employ people, you know, you have to have a base. And from there, you can just build on it.
I just want to go back a little second as well, actually, just to talk about education now. But our viewer base who watch these videos and I guess follow my content are you know, primarily business people, you know, small business people looking to grow the business. But I also get a lot of messages from younger people, and I guess, you know, people who are at the crossroads in the kind of educational position. Sure. Obviously, you left school at 15. You said you'd have done it at 14 if you could. I guess you come from a particular bias, but how important do you think higher education, well, education in general, but particularly higher education, is for people looking to get, I guess, build a career and build a future?
Sure. Look, I'm not knocking education. It's more about enthusiasm. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, how educated you are, how many qualifications you've got. It's really about enthusiasm. And I actually think that you get educated in the workplace once you're out there. That's the new education. And so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but, you know, I mean, you know, I know plenty of people who've got degrees in this, that and the other, and they can't cross the road on their own, you know what I mean? And, you know, I know other people that, you know, can hardly read and write, and they run sort of magnificent companies. So it's more about enthusiasm, willpower, wanting to succeed than education.
So earlier I said to you, you said 2 or 3 sentences in a clip I watched about you this morning, and the first thing I want to talk about is you said that 90% of your time is spent doing PR and marketing, you know, and that 90% of any business owner's time should be spent doing that. I mean, it's something I 100% agree with, and I think you know, far too many business owners either ignore it completely or outsource it to other people or the wrong people, and you know, the brand and the message gets diluted as time goes along. You know, talk to me about, you know, I guess that statement and your views.
Okay, look, as you know, we've sort of, you know, now doing okay. We've got a workforce of about 20. We're getting vans that are all branded up, and people are recognising it. And I took on a marketing guy, and you know, his advice to me at the time was that you know, you could be the best plumber in the world, but if people don't know about you, what's the point? Yeah. So he sort of taught me the word recognition. You need to be recognised out there one way or the other. And, you know, by the branding, by sort of putting the name out there more, and, you know, that obviously creates the more and more interest. And rightly you said, a lot of people are scared of PR, but you need to, you know, you need to let people know what you're about and where you're going and what you've got on offer. And, you know, we started getting a bit of local paper stuff kind of thing and a bit of charity work. And then I realised the benefit of it. You know, people mention it and keep on about it. And it's priceless. Often I say to companies now, once you're up and running, obviously, to start off, you've got to do your own PR, your own social media. But once you're up and running, you know, I have quite a lot of businesses say to me, you know, shall I get into PR? And I just can't understand how people can have a successful business without it. I'm talking about, you know, the other top level. I'm not talking about as you're growing, because you do your own PR, but it's a priceless commodity, undoubtedly. And
how much? Obviously, you say you spend 90% of your time on PR and marketing. I mean, how granular do you get into that PR and brand now? You know, I mean, are I guess what am I trying to say? I mean, do you dictate the overall strategy to a team, or are you very much there on the ground, building your own brand, building the brand of the business?
Yeah, well, I think we're always building a brand of the business, and then it sort of outgrows you, that you don't have to do it all yourself. You've got other people, and they become part of it, whether they be apprentices, whether they be engineers out there working, whether it be mechanics that are working for you. It's good to bring everybody involved in the PR, because there ain't one man that could have built the business that we've got today, the success of it. And it sounds corny, but undoubtedly, a business is about the people that work for you and how good they are, and undoubtedly it's a team affair. So I think by getting everybody involved in it, they haven't got to rely on you, and I think that's important. It makes people feel more and more part of it. So it's just an ongoing thing, and we're very media friendly, the business, and we do quite a bit of Sky News, and quite a lot that we get involved in these days that it's got nothing to do with plumbing, but again, it gets the name out there. It's
the brand out there.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, obviously, we've talked already about staff and the growing numbers of staff you've got. And another comment I heard you say is that you can't grow a business without employing people. And again, something that you just so much immediately resonated with me, both in terms of, I guess, small business owners that I talk to on a daily basis, and a couple of I guess mentees of mine, if you like, who've got businesses and they want to grow it, but they say, I'd like to grow the business, but I don't want to take any salespeople on, and I don't like staff who do this, and I don't like staff who do that, and ultimately, as you say, without staff you can't grow the business. But small business owners are so nervous
Sure.
to take those steps.
Okay. The hardest thing is business is employing people, which means it's the thing that you need to do, because that's where you're going to grow on it. And you've got to start off whether you have somebody in on a part-time basis, where you have a friend in, relative. You've got to start somewhere. And all I'm saying is, for me it's worked anyhow. The more people I employ, the more successful the business is. And at one time in these small businesses, we all think we can do everything. At one time I was answering phones, doing wages, doing interviews, and actually going out and doing a bit of work on the emergency work. And then you realise at a certain stage in your business, you can't do everything. If it's going to kill you basically if you don't. And then, I learned to take on to employ people, I take them on board, and then you start delegating and trusting people. And let's not kid anyone, there's some good people out there that not necessarily want to run the show, but are happy to be part of it. And I think it's important that you realise that you're not the best at everything. We're all good at something, but we're not good at everything. And I've got people in to do our accounts in the end, and they're miles better than me. I've got people in to do recruitment, miles better than me. It then gives you the opportunity to concentrate on making the business grow. But undoubtedly, you show me a person that's successful without employing people, and I'll show you a liar.
And tell me how quick and how flexible to employ people are you in your business? And I guess the reason I say is, from my own personal perspective, my long-term staff and people I do business with always laugh at me, going, "Fuck, Matt can't employ any more people. All your hires are so bad." But my attitude to it is, it's not that my hires are so bad. It's that like you say, without staff you can't grow, we can't grow. And I'm prepared to take the chance, because without giving people can interview amazing. People can have you ever read a bad CV? Have you ever heard someone at an interview tell you they're going to be crap at the job? No, until the day they start, you don't know. And my view is, I want big growth, therefore I need lots of people. But we're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs until we get to the princes who are quick to hire and quick to fire.
There's many ups and downs, and you'll go through many staff, and it give you a million problems. But the end result is there's a lot of good people out there, and you just got to work your way through them, and eventually you'll wind up with a top team. There's no two ways about that. I mean, once you've employed someone on a certain role and you've realised that they're not up to standard, or they're not efficient, or not turning up on time, you sort of, things move on. But there's some great people out there, and let's not kid anybody that even though I said it's the most difficult thing in business, it's part of business.
And I guess in line with employing them, there's then getting rid of them. And the other comment I heard you say was that the best time to get rid of someone is when you first think it.
Yeah, I've learned by experience on that. Yeah, of course, you know, you start wondering, this person's not stacking up, you know, they're turning up late, they're not doing the job, you know, they're starting not to be that efficient, starting to give, you know, you're starting to worry and get a problem about it. And over the years now, I've learned that, you know, the best time to get rid of someone is when you first think about it, because it gets rid of that problem and you start again. But, you know, you're never going to run any business without all the ups and downs and the same thing very much so with employing people. But, you know, I have to say it, there's good people out there and good people want to work for you. And I've noticed one of the things that people that are happy to work for us is because you're showing them enthusiasm, you're showing them that we will get somewhere in life, and you're also rewarding them. You know, you look, you know, I don't know if you're aware of it, Matt, but we have in our building or in our headquarters, you know, we have our own gym now. We have you know, subsidised canteen. We have a roof garden. We have a massage lady comes in. No extras. I was on back and neck.
You don't need an apprentice plumber, do you?
You're right. You're right. I don't need one. We've got about 80 of them. But, you know, and we lay on, like, we've got a boat party coming up and we've got a Christmas party. And, you know, we have sort of gym classes, you know, yoga, Pilates. And probably I'm jumping the gun a bit from a small business to where you are. But once you learn that if you look after your staff, they stay loyal, they stay with you, and more people want to come on board. So, and you know yourself, happy staff are more productive.
So talk to me about some dark times. You know, how many? I mean, 30 odd years in business. How many times have you faced disaster? Have you been on the brink? You know.
Blimey, I didn't even go to school. It's 40 years. 1979 we started. So it's 40 years in business. Sorry, I don't mean that.
No.
Facts are facts.
So you're making me feel young. That's good. Carry on.
What was the question?
Tell me about some dark times.
Okay, dark times. Yeah, I've already said that in any business, you know, you worry, sleepless nights. Can I afford it? Am I going to get through this? Am I really on the right direction where I'm going? And you've got to go through them hurdles to get through the other side and then start growing it for there. So back in, I think, late 80s, early 90s, we nearly went bust. We basically got it wrong.
What you got wrong?
Not bringing enough money, not collecting. The biggest problem we had at the time, and it's still a problem today, not for us, fortunately, is you know, people owe you money. Most people go bust because people owe them money. So we've changed their system in the early 90s that it's payment on completion, and so therefore
you don't have any account jobs whatsoever.
No. I mean, if the Queen rung us today, she would have to pay us.
Pay up front.
Yeah.
She'd have to pay
well, not
front.
up front, but when we finish it. I mean, we're not that good. But so getting your finances in control is important. And I think at the time when we nearly went bust, I think we had customers owing us about 80 grand, and you're never going to get that in the end. So we changed the policy, payment on completion, and we also obviously changed various other things. You know, we started employing better people, not putting up with all the shit people, you know what I mean, and the nonsense. I think, you know, business ain't a game, it's a serious thing, and, you know, as much as it may be enjoyable, you've got to be factual and you've got to get to the point of what it's all about. And, you know, again, I believe you pay a fair day's money, you'll get a fair day's work from somebody.
So tell me, without giving away your trade secrets to create legions of competition for you out there, what would be your kind of top 3 or 4 tips to a one-man band contractor? It doesn't. Let's not even say a plumber, so we don't get any more.
Look.
But whatever.
Let me just say this: a lot of people copy us, and that's a compliment these days. You know, they copy the uniform, the branding, the way we operate, with the way we conduct ourselves with punctuality, and you know, way we actually run their business, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, it used to worry me years ago. Now it's great, you know, the people do that. And you're asking for free tips that.
3 tips that a one-man band contractor in your space or a similar space to you can implement, you know, for fast growth.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about fast growth. Business is a long-term venture, and you know, we've been going 40 years, and it doesn't happen overnight. Anybody that thinks it's quick, get rich quick, it don't work like that. It's a long-term project. So the first thing I would say to anybody is the quicker you can start employing people or joining with you, whether, whichever basis it may be, then that's the way forward. The second thing that, obviously there's a million tips, or not a million tips, a million things that you can try and do in business. But another good one that worked with us was we have a policy of, if you become a Pimlico customer, we work on the basis that you're a Pimlico customer for life. So I'm probably trying to simplify it and say retain customers. There's customers now that are working for us that when I was a self-employed plumber in Pimlico that are still with us today. I mean, most of them are dead, but there's still a few there. So retain customers undoubtedly. And there's so many things you can do in business, and I think you've got to do. I know we're looking for a third tip, but there's no sort of magic wand out there.
I'll give it to you for you based on what you were saying earlier. Control your cash flow.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, if you don't control cash flow, then you go bust. But I wouldn't necessarily say that's the best tip out there. I'm going to go back to employing people, retaining customers. I've got it.
Go for it.
Undoubtedly. And the most important thing, don't matter, what your uniform is, how good your branding is, how good that you come across, sort of you're taking your calls, how efficient you are. Quality of service is undoubtedly probably the leading factor here. So I would say to anybody, whatever you're offering as a service, whatever product you're making, whatever you're actually doing, people will always pay for quality. If it's like if you want a Savile Row suit, you go to Savile Row. And I think in business, people will always pay for quality. Quality comes through. End of the day, we can turn up on time, we can have the best uniform, we can be on the telly, but if you don't offer them a good job at the end of the day, basically I suppose if water's pissing through the ceiling at the end of the day, waste of time. Quality of service is, I think, one of the most important things in business.
So what's the future going to see for Pimlico Plumbers? How much can you continue to grow, and where's the next 40 years going to take you?
Well, I think it's unlimited, if I'm being honest, and I'd say that with any business. All I ever wanted to be was a plumber. This wasn't on the books to run this plumbing empire, I suppose. But as things get better and you start seeing the success of business and what it can give you, whether that be on a financial basis or just the fact that, and it's lovely to be able to employ people and have a load of apprentices on board and make a success of it. And so on that basis, we're looking to get a lot more of the market share in London. We're moving quite a bit out there to the Greater London. More and more, I think, geographically on that. And we're just basically going to claim more and more of the marketplace, and we've also added all the other trades to the business.
That was going to be one of my questions earlier, actually. Yeah. So what, electrical, that kind of stuff?
Electric, roofing, carpentry. It's pretty unlimited. I mean, when you start a business, you can't necessarily see the end result.
You don't have locksmiths, do you? I've got a little problem in my bedroom I need fixing.
Of course we do. Yeah. We've got all household trades now, and that complements the business. And just to add that, we was getting a problem when we was on the job, and can we recommend an electrician, and can we this, can we that? And it's simpler in the end to take these people on, which I think goes back to employing people. And so we cover all the household trades, but the way forward, we've got 250 vans on the road. We have probably 70,000 square foot of headquarters now with various bits. We're all in one place, which I think is a great thing to do. I think that, you don't want to be here, there and everywhere. Concentrate in a base and stick to it.
Do all the individual plumbers kind of, on any trades, does everyone kind of come back to base?
No, I mean, we don't do that.
Sorry, I don't mean they go out to a job, come to base. What I mean is that like home for everybody?
Well, what I mean is we have this massive headquarters, and we have like van washing facilities there. We do our own mechanics. We have the canteen there. We have gym there and that. So it's there for all and everybody. But we try and make sure that, you know, most of the guys, they just go from job to job and they come back about once a week. So a lot of the facilities are more for the admin setup, but you know, with mobile communication, you just don't need to come back. You know what I mean? You can give all that information out. You know, whether it be the laptop or whatever they've got with them. You can just do all that. So it's not necessary. You don't want all people backwards and forwards. It's just unnecessary.
So obviously you got into the plumbing business yourself through an apprenticeship, and I assume that's a big part of how you recruit and train staff now.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about your views on apprentice?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we have about 80 apprentices that work for us now. Undoubtedly, they're the future. You know, I said to you, it was the best thing I ever done, and many apprentices go on to run their own business or become self-employed. So I'm very keen on promoting apprenticeships. Undoubtedly, it's definitely the way forward, and basically if we didn't have apprenticeships, then there would be no future for Pimlico Plumbers.
So earlier on we were talking about the fantastic facilities you've been creating at your head office, you know, the gyms, you know, the massage girl, the canteens, etc. How much of an effect have you seen on your business in that? And for me, I'm thinking two things. One, I guess, how much engagement and camaraderie has it created, but also, you know, does it create a bit of piss taking as well, for want of a better word, that, you know, people take advantage of it?
The answer is no, it don't, because people, I think, respect the fact that, you know, they've got these great facilities there. And what I have noticed, the more we add to them, the more people want to work for us, the more productive they are. I mean, it's undoubtedly about that. You know, if you're giving people certain incentives in the business, then, you know, they want to stay with you. They're more loyal, more productive, more happy. It's just a win-win-win situation. I mean, you know, when I first brought a canteen out, you know, I'm thinking, you know, am I mad? You know, but the difference it's made, you know, it's got everybody together. It's people turn up early for work. You know, they meet in the canteen. If someone needs to take a break from it, to have these facilities there, basically I think the art of it is you don't want people to go home, and we're very much 24-hour, and it works the same with the gym. You know, they come in early, they go to the gym, they go after work. We even have people come into work when they're not working and use the gym. So the more you can, I think, incentivise workers for you, I think the better. And you are right, it can lead to piss taking, but you normally find that, you know, you get to a stage that the people you take on board, you wouldn't allow that kind of thing, because they don't want to lose that lovely job.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, you know, if someone's a piss taker, they're a piss taker. You know, whether you've got the canteen or not, you know, they're still going to need managing and controlling.
You're right. You are right there, Paul. But I'm sort of saying is that in the end, when people are being looked after, there's no reason for them to come in at that angle.
So obviously we've been talking about what a fantastically successful career you've had, and I guess, you know, there's been lots of ups and downs over the last 40 years, but it's been a growing success curve. You know, tell us about, you know, one big mistake that you've made. You know, if you could go back and do it all over again, you know, what would you have avoided along the way? I'd
probably say the mistake I've made is not being more confident, and not more believing in yourself, and not being sort of more that, wow, I want to do good in life kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think we sort of hold ourselves back a bit. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't think we're going to achieve this. You know, and I now think, looking back, I should have just been thinking big from the beginning and saying, okay, you know, I'm gonna become a self-employed plumber, and why can't I have a bigger business? Why can't I employ people? So I think they're all the things you don't think you can do. And you know, we sort of use the term, we've got to believe in ourselves, but you've got to be more confident. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, how would I put it? You know, a winning jockey don't change his horse, does he? Is that the saying? Anyhow, no, a jockey,
only when it gets too old.
Right, a jockey doesn't get off a winning horse. So probably what I'm trying to say is that you can achieve a lot more out there. And if I'd have been aware of that years ago, then our company would have probably been 10 times the size it is. It's just believing that, you know, there is a good future out there. You can make it happen. it's just getting that under your belt. And I looking back on it, you know, I think I said to you, all I ever wanted to be was a plumber, and I should have thought bigger than that, than just wanting to be a self-employed. You know, I think big, and I think you'll get big.
Tell me, when did you actually stop? When did you last actually do a plumbing job yourself? And do you ever still do any now, just to kind of keep your hand in and see what the customers say?
Wow. No, I mean, probably 30, 40 years, we've been going 40 years, haven't we? So probably 35 years ago, I stopped doing the jobs. You know, and you have to make that change, you know. You have to come away from, you know, doing the bits and pieces.
Being the doer to being the grower.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So once I not decided, well, I had no choice, you know. You can't be in the office and sort of fixing a leak. And once you make that changeover, which is a massive change, you then realise that you've got to concentrate more and more on that. So the answer is, no, I don't do any plumbing, but everywhere I go, I look at all the plumbing. And your plumbing ain't bad here.
My plumbing all right. So listen, I've got one question for you before you go. This is the same question.
Am I going then?
Well, not till we fix that lock.
I thought we just got started, mate.
I always like to ask all my guests when they're here how they'd like to be remembered once they're gone. But when I say once they're gone, as in once they've left this world. And I like the question to be answered in the context of how would you have your tombstone written?
Who are you fucking looking at?
I have to say that that's the first time we've ever heard that. And I'll stop you there before you want to change your mind. But Charlie, it's been fantastic to have you here, and you know, so many kind of great nuggets of advice, whether it's a small business or a growing business. And obviously, it's been fantastic to hear your story. And you know, thank you very much for dropping by.
It's good to be here, and you know, just to add that is you know, you can believe in yourself, and you know, people have this saying that, you know, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But what I'm saying is that, you know, if you've got enough enthusiasm and enough willpower, then there's no reason why you won't be successful.
Fantastic.
Cheers, fella.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks. Thank you for being here.